Hello everyone. Okay, today I'm going to show you how I simplify a reference photo to create a loose watercolour. Okay, as always I start off by just wetting the paper all over with the mist bottle. I'm going to use a limited palette, Ultramarine, Cobalt blue, some Magenta, possibly some Indian yellow, raw Sienna, burnt Sienna. Okay, here's the reference photo, just pops up in the top left there. You see there's not really anything going on in the sky, it's quite white, so I'll try and add a bit of interest to that. That's just some leftover grey in the palette. I've added some ultramarine, cobalt blue to that. I'll start by just bringing that across just to create a simple cloud shape. Grey it off a bit more with some raw sienna. Just allow the paint to catch the water on the paper, just allow it to run, move around, go wherever it wants. Okay, touch more raw sienna, kind of flood that well out a bit just to get some pure colour in there. I'll add a bit of warmth to the sky now. Okay, just a wet brush and then just bring that all the way down to the horizon line. Just keep it kind of on the grey side. And then just kind of very roughly paint out the area of the water of that creek just running through. Obviously no pencil drawing for this, that helps keep everything loose. Okay, that's even more raw sienna there. And just loosely put in the area of some land. You can leave some unpainted areas. That'll act to kind of suggest the creek going off into the distance there that you can see. Some burnt sienna into that just to create a bit of a brown. Bring that across there for that scrubby marsh area. Much of this will be covered up after the first wash is dry, so I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just getting a suggestion of what's there, really, just kind of outlining it. Kind of almost using it as the drawing. Just bring that right across, kind of get some rough idea of where the horizon's going to be. Okay, that's the first wash done, just dry that off. Okay, it's fully dry now. Now I usually would have tried to get the horizon line in while it was still damp, but it was too wet, so I just dried it off, and I've now just re-wet it slightly with the small mist bottle. I'm going to go straight in there with some cobalt, some ultramarine. I think I just red that off slightly with a touch of magenta. Just very simply put the horizon line in. It's with a size, I think it's an 8 or a 10 Sable. Just hit it again with the mister there just to soften the edges. I'm just going to bring that straight across pretty much in one go. I'll vary the colour slightly with a touch of Cobalt into that. Zero detail, I mean you don't have to copy the reference photo at all, it's in the distance, it doesn't make any difference at all, don't need any detail. What I will do though is I will add a church, just a basic outline of a church or just a large building really, just to add something to look at. Okay, continue that down, just soften the edge there slightly, that's just with a touch of raw sienna. Just try and add some of the detail of that marshy field. Some burnt sienna into the mix there. Some ultramarine and burnt sienna, touch of cobalt blue just to make a warm grey. Again, just bring it across, leave some of the areas untouched, which just suggests the kind of light of the wet areas in that field. Just warm that up as it's coming closer. And just add that landmass just to the right there. Very simply, just the side of the brush, allowing it to break up. Kind of a cross between dry brush technique, really. Again, warm that up a bit more with some Indian yellow, raw sienna. Touch more Indian yellow. And just put in that muddy bank just on the left. And again, that's pretty much a dry brush technique there, just leave it, just so it breaks up, leave some broken edges to suggest the mud line, and just darken the bottom of that bank. And just create some contrast there between the bank and the water. Some more burnt sienna into that, and then just bring that down quickly. Again, dry brush technique. Instantly suggests a muddy edge. Some more raw sienna, Indian yellow, cobalt blue, kind of like a dirty green really, just for some of those closer grasses. A bit more raw sienna. And just kind of using the side of the brush, not trying to paint individual blades of grass, anything like that. Just look at the overall shape and just try and interpret it the best I can, really. There's some burnt sienna into the rest of the mix there. Okay, I'll grab some of that dark that's from a previous painting in the palette. And just suggest some of those wet, muddy areas. And again, not painting any detail at all, it's just looking at the overall shape. You can squint or blur your eyes to look at the reference photo and just cancel out any of the detail in there really. Okay, I've just dried that off again and I'm just going to use a smaller Sable brush. I think it's a size 2. And a mix of dark with some ultramarine, burnt sienna. I'm just going to add that boat, just one of the boats that you can see. I think that'd be enough. And I'm just going to move it, I think, to the far edge of that bank, just to leave myself some space to put a reflection in down there. I'm not even copying the shape of the boat in the photograph. It's just to add a boat, just to give some context, really. Very simple outline of a boat. I think I'll put a mast on as well, just to tie it into the sky. Straight down. I think I'll make the boat slightly longer. Just suggest a sail on there and a support beam. Now for the reflection, I'll just grab some of that blue that's there in the palette. Bring the reflection straight down. Very simple, just kind of mirroring the shape of the boat really, without being too accurate. You see on the right there, there's a few posts, possibly a lot more in posts. You can barely see them really in the reference photo, but I just put a few of those in simply, just to have a bit of interest on the right hand side. I think I'll bring a few a bit further up the bank, a little bit closer, just to add a bit of perspective. Again, reflections of those, just very simply slightly wavy lines. Just darken the bottom of that bank there. Okay, and add some of that muddy area in the foreground. Okay, just a few more dark grasses or bits of mud. And I think I'll put a few birds in the sky. I'm not sure if it really needs it, but again, just adds a bit more interest. Okay, just a couple of bird shapes and then just a few dots going off into the distance. Again, adds a bit of perspective. I'll put a couple more a bit higher up. Okay, I think I'll call that finished. Okay, let's take the tape off and see what we've got. It's a nice simple loose painting there from a reference photo. It goes to show really that you don't need to copy every detail, just look at the big shapes. I hope you like that, and you got something from it. If so, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. As always, you can let me know down in the comments if you've got any questions or any suggestions. Well, thanks for watching. See you next week.